A horse is a horse, of course, the famous Mr. Ed. Hey guys, welcome to my new channel. Well, actually, it's not really my channel, because my channels always get shut down by someone that we know to make fake accounts on YouTube. And I'm going to tell you who this person is, and how he does it, and why he does it. Let me tell you, Mr. Coon, if you were a good seller on eBay, and you were an honest seller on eBay, you would still be on eBay today. eBay doesn't kick people off for a reason. I've talked to eBay about this. I'm one of the very few people that's actually talked to eBay, honestly. One of the very few. Get on the phone and talk to them personally. And how I did this was through an attorney a few years ago. And I got my battles with eBay all situated. And my account has not been shut down. When you make a mistake and they call you on it, you gotta go by their rules. And let me tell you, Mr. Ed, you know, and the rest of us know one thing, that Mr. Finch has an agenda to get Joe kicked off eBay, and we know that. And why is that? Because he hates Joe for not following his campaign for his stealth guide that is so fake and stolen from another person that wrote it. Yes, Mr. Finch, you 100% stole a copyrighted system through a forum that we all know. And that was found on eBay suspension forum. But I'm not going to mention any names. But Mr. Ed, you, for one reason, trust this gentleman, and he is leading you into the gutter like he tried to do with me. But I knew that from the beginning, and I used his freaking punk ass so I could tell the world what he does. And now it's coming out. And myself and Jason DeCanio have been meeting, and we are going to start discussing these matters about what eBay's a joke is really about, and what Mr. Finch is, or Chuck is really about. So until you understand what the stalker does to people, Mr. Ed, and you're going to follow him because you are an unsuccessful seller on eBay. Yes, you are an unsuccessful seller on eBay. And eBay's a joke's an unsuccessful business person online, a troll, a scammer, and a stalker. And now it's time for the why. And why does he do this? Because he's unsuccessful. And he just wants to screw people up because he scams people. And when you scam people and you're unjust in the system, the people that don't want you on the system will keep throwing you off. And eBay stealth is not an honest system, so you are going to get thrown off no matter how hard you do, how hard you try to keep using that system. I've used it just to see where it would get me, and it didn't really get me real far, but that account's still up. But I did make it legitimate by calling eBay and telling what I was using it for. So my one stealth account is now a legitimate account, Mr. Ed. But you're not legitimate because you believe the lies because you yourself are a liar. Along with Mr. Finch is a liar. And all your forums, all your websites have nothing to do with eBay. That's right. This is what I'm talking about with Team eBay, with Joe, and the rest of the crew that might be listening to this. The eBay's Jokes website, ebayblows.org, has nothing to do with eBay. It has to do with Joe. Because eBay's a joke, or Charles Finch, in that matter, has a sick, twisted mind with Joe. That's right. The man is sick. He's got problems. And when I saw these problems a long time ago, I wanted to see how far I could take these issues. You know what? He goes up to the police department. He makes fake reports. on Jason DeCanio for no reason. Because we know that he's right. We know that Jason DeCanio is right for what he's doing. We know what Joe is right for what he's doing, trying to get people that are screwing people on eBay to get them off eBay. And I will tell you how Charles Finch does his scams with Joe on eBay. Number one, he uses a fake prepaid cell phone, which I can bring these up right here. Any prepaid cell phone that you buy from Walmart, from Walgreens, CVS, could be Rite Aid, wherever the big guy shops. Let me tell you something, Mr. Finch. Those phones can be tracked once those numbers have been basically used, okay? And once you can get those phone numbers, those numbers have caller IDs inside the phones. If you were that smart, you would know that those phones have caller IDs and can be tracked by the FCC. That I do know. But the only problem is it would take a DA officer from your county to come to your house, and we could drop a bomb on you by doing this. All of us get together and have your computer investigated, Mr. Finch, for illegally causing problems online. And yes, that could be done. Joseph DeMarco could have your computer inspected and looked at for fraudulent activity, because that has not been done yet, and I know what's coming. And Mr. Ed Kuhn, let me tell you, when that day does come, Mr. Finch is going to be thrown into prison. He's going to be thrown in jail. Probably not prison, but if the fraud is there, for each dollar amount that he's frauded somebody, yeah, you can go to federal prison for that, for robbing somebody for $1 and then causing cybercrime. So I don't know what the penalties are there, but we all know he's doing it. He's creating fake prepaid accounts, changing the phone numbers of the phone, and going in and bidding on Joe's stuff. Now, on stealth accounts, the number and the location of that phone has to match the account location of the IP address to make the fake account. So it's a load of crap, Mr. Ed Kuhn, saying that it was a bot or a bid bot going in Joe's account. We all know that location from New York is just one of his locations from the fake phones that he uses. That's right, Mr. Kuhn. You are following a criminal, just like I was. I was following him to see what he would do and what he'd tell me. You know what he told me? He said his whole agenda is to get Joe kicked off, and he told me that he uses fake cell phones. Mr. Charles Finch told me plenty of times he uses fake cell phones to go in and bid on Joe's stuff and not pay for it. And he thinks it's funny to do that, because he is incested. I don't know if that's the word I would use, but he's sick of trying to get Joe off eBay. And Mr. Ed, you're not any better, honestly. You guys make eBay look worse than what it is, but you guys don't have anything to do with eBay. None of your articles have anything to do with eBay. All your articles have to do with Joe or Jason DeCanio. Has nothing to do with anything. So, Mr. Ed, why don't you go back to eBay Motors, jump in your old Rolls Royce, and wheel yourself back to the reality. Because the gentleman known as eBay's Joker, Chuck Finch, is honestly probably going to go to jail once a better case comes up against him. Or that case might already be there. And you know it. So you go ahead and rubbing your mouth all over the place. Because I can only thank you, and the rest of us only thank you for putting out the news and holding the news on your eBay smear website for us. But the main matter here is eBay's joke going on and bidding on Joe's stuff and cyberbullying Jason. Now he's cyberbullying me. And you know, I'll tell you something, Mr. Finch. I know enough about you that I don't care what you do, because all the evidence on your websites, on your eBay guide, your new eBay stealth guide website, you know, you put my information in there, and you talk about Joe, talk about Jason in there. Every website that you guys generate has nothing to do with eBay. Has everything to do with Joe or Jason, or doxing people's information, or putting our information out there to make us look bad. But the only thing is, you guys look like the idiots, because no one cares what you do. The reason why we care is because we see it. We see what you're doing. And Ed, you see what Peanut Head is doing. That's right. You see what he's doing, and you took my place because eBay's a Joke knew that I didn't trust him. Because I can't trust a liar and someone that trolls, manipulates, and harasses people online. And you know that he's doing it. And now you took my place to see how far you can take it, and I guarantee you that's what you're doing. But that's not going to take long for Mr. Chuck Finch to get sick again and start putting your information out. And let me tell you something. He has put your information out. He's wrote articles against you online. And I'm not even going to tell you what they are. I'm not going to tell you where they're at, but they're out there. He wrote one about you about rolling miles back on a car and put it up on a forum. Okay? Mr. Charles Finch is the one that wrote that. He wrote an article about Ed Coon's scam campaign on eBay and why he got thrown off. Probably about 8 months ago, or whenever you joined and started following Mr. Ed Finch. Or Mr. Charles Finch. Mr. Charles Finch came to you, Ed, because he needed someone that would agree with him on some issues with eBay. He's using your ass against us. He's using your ass against Joe. He's using you against Jason. And worst of all, he's using you against yourself. Because that's what online criminals do. And that's what criminals do. They try to manipulate your thoughts so you will agree. And if you don't agree, they toss you to the curb, or they make threats against you, or they make threats to you, like Mr. Finch has done to me. He's made threats to me, and I don't care, because I know the truth about the gentleman. And he's only making his subject worse every time he puts someone else's information on his websites, and his website is proof. Your websites are proof. Every website he makes is proof that he harasses people online. And those laws are going to be in effect. And his ass is going to go to jail for it. So, peace out, everybody. This is my new channel. And I'm here standing up to idiots like Ed Coon and Charles Finch that think that they are just for the things that they do online. Because I think both characters, for one, I know one character should just shut his mouth, Mr. Ed. You should just shut your mouth, get off of that train with eBay's a Joke. Because eBay's a Joke's not about eBay. He's about Joe, he's about scamming people online. And he's about harassing people online. Every website he makes. So why can't you realize that in your head? Now he's making you make websites for him about Joe and Jason and anybody that follows Joe. And you are promoting his criminal activity. But we thank you for representing us and putting that information on a website for proof that it's all being recorded by Mr. Ed Coon. So everybody, thank you very much. Have a great day.